Hello, fellow fleet and mobility players. So today's special guest has approximately 15 years of experience in strategic procurement as well as fleet management. His focus is on procurement, savings, safety, and overall implementation of global strategies. So he's based out of Mexico. And so who we have with us today is Rodrigo Monroy, and he is Latin America Fleet Category Manager for international pharmaceutical company Novartis. So how you doing, Rodrigo?
Hi, Daniel. I'm doing well. Thank you very much for inviting me. My pleasure to be here with you.
Okay, yeah, good, good. So I saw Rodrigo in Mexico at our Fleet Latam conference, and it's nice to see him again here online. And we're just gonna have a few questions for Rodrigo. The first one I have is there still a lack of vehicle supplies in Latin America? And does it depend on the country? And how are you and Novartis dealing with it?
Well, unfortunately, yes, Daniel. There's a big shortage of cars remaining in all around the world and also in Latin America in this case. What I've seen is that it depends on the country. There are some countries with better car conditions, but most of it depends on the OEM. So in this case, what we have done in Novartis is to work closely with the OEMs for them to share their future status, which vehicles they will have more availability, and which one of the models that they will have meet our requirements. That's an action that has been helpful for us because we do not keep in blindness, but we have some visibility of their product availability in the future directly from the OEM.
And do you think when do you think will be okay? Next year, 2024, or you have no idea?
I don't have to, I don't want to bring bad news, but yeah, it won't solve anytime soon.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
I expect is by the second half of next year, 2023, will be better conditions, but yeah, not the first half of the year.
Yeah, so we just fleet managers prepare accordingly. I have a question about controlling TCO in Latin America. We have maybe two options: direct purchase of vehicles or maybe leasing. I don't know. Which one do you think is a better option for you in terms of maybe TCO nowadays?
Okay. Yeah, it depends on the country as well. As you know, the interest rates have increasing substantially all around the world, the same in Latin America. But for example, in Novartis, we're able to make a lease versus buy analysis, complete and thorough assessment, and leasing was more beneficial for us. So there's an opportunity to get a complete analysis to get the tax deductions that you can have even for hybrid cars, the benefits that the government provides, there are not many, but some of them that can play a key role to move to a leasing status and acquisition. In other countries, it would be very difficult. For example, like in Argentina, it is practically not feasible to consider leasing. And there are some countries in between, like they are probably in the break even, such as Colombia, Ecuador, probably Chile, and also Brazil. It is important to take into account the tax deduction and the benefits of leasing to move from acquiring the cars to moving to leasing. So it depends on the country conditions, but yeah, it obviously it has to be a thorough analysis, and and the fleet managers should apply some effort in doing and conducting one.
And what do you think impacts TCO the most? Safety or security? In Portuguese and Spanish, it's one word. I think it's like segurança. But in English, so we have safety and security. What do you think impacts TCO the most? Safety, like controlling accidents, or maybe security, like vehicle or cargo theft?
Well, both of them, I would say that safety is more under the fleet management control because it is related to the driver behavior. What we have done, and my recommendation is not to let the employees and the drivers alone, but to work closely with them to conduct with your vendors driving and safety training for them to be aware what's the importance of driving correctly. We can have the e-training for the employees. But for example, make a thorough analysis on the accidents. If you have high-risk drivers, not e-learning it wouldn't be enough. It would be important to have them on site, to have behind-the-wheel training for them, for these actions to really help and reduce your accident rate, and in that case, the cost of the safety issues that any fleet can have. If you go with the security, you can say that it is not so much in control of the fleet managers, but not really. What we have done is to work with our security area to define which roads are most dangerous, which areas the employees are not able or not recommended to drive, so they are not exposed. One element can be the telematics, so you can access and evaluate if the drivers are driving under unsafe areas and to avoid that. So I would say that both can be expensive, but both can be improved.
Okay, so good. Yeah, so in terms of security, route management, make sure they're driving the correct. But I guess sounds like to you the safety and driver behavioral control and management is maybe something that you focus on a little bit more. Rodrigo, so I just have a last question about maybe what are the keys to implementing a regional vehicle procurement strategy? So regional in Latin America. So we're talking about maybe, I don't know, 3 or more countries. Maybe can you give us one tip?
Well, so it would be important to analyze what do you want to buy. What I mean is, do you want to buy the lowest cost cars? Do you want to have the lowest CO2 emissions cars, or do you want to have the employee preferred cars? So once you define what kind of cars you want to buy, that could be the next step for them to work and contact the OEMs, the vendors, in this case, the OEMs, to see what's in the market, what's their product availability. So you can both meet both requirements. In the past, when there was a big product availability, you could choose from a wide range of vehicle options. But with the current conditions, it is important for you to define your requirements, but also to see what's in the market. Once you have both ends analyzed, the correct way to do is to align on the cost of the cars, on the conditions on the delivery, for example. It's important to know that they will meet your requirements, and then to implement. It is also essential to have a vehicle selector, because if you have defined what kind of cars you provide to the employees, you wouldn't be like in an open selection that could complicate things for you for your purchase strategy.
Yeah, so that's good. So I guess you can before you get on your path, you need to visualize the path and make a plan first, and need to study exactly what you need in the countries and the fleet. So okay, well, that's good. Thank you very much. We don't have too much time to this, Rodrigo, but once again, thank you. I'm going to give a little short notice about the Global Fleet Managers Club. So the Global Fleet Managers Club, I just want to let our viewers out there, through virtual meetings and live sessions, the club it offers networking and best practice sharing. Rodrigo has been to some meetings in the past, and we are focused on executive level fleet decision makers who have global and regional responsibilities. And it is 100% neutral and non-commercial environment. So we have meetings a few times a year, and I just want to give a shout out about this. And for more information, you can contact myself. I don't know, on LinkedIn, you can probably find me, or visit globalfleet.com. Okay, thanks a lot. And thanks again, Rodrigo.
Thank you very much, Daniel. See you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.